Fresh, look at this.
It's perfect. OMG.
Isn't it great?
Oh, Felicia.
I know, it's my dream.
I have goosebumps everywhere. How did you do this? All right, Felicia, this is what we're going to do here. I know you've never done this before, but it's super exciting, and I think people all over the world are going to be making puzzles, their own custom puzzles for gifts or whatever, for yourself. We made one for ourselves, and we love it. Did you enjoy doing your puzzle the other day?
I did. I thought that would turn out really well. Make a great gift for somebody.
We're going to flip the screen here. We're going to do a little bit different. We're going to make like a commercially viable puzzle. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is go to this website, and there are several puzzle generators online that's written by just regular coders, and they made these cool puzzle, like, you can download the puzzle templates in WeCreat software, and I think Lightburn has a bunch of them, but they're so big and clunky, they look like puzzles like a child would do. So what we wanted to do is do like a real puzzle, something you'd buy in a store, and these puzzle generators let you do that. Now walk me through that. What does this thing do?
All right, so you can change different aspects of the puzzle. You can change the seed, and if you look carefully at these corner pieces here, you can see that when we increase the seed, they change the shape of those pieces. So you just got to pick which shape you like.
I mean, there's thousands of them. It doesn't really matter, but you just kind of
exactly.
eyeball it and see which one looks random enough for you to use.
Exactly.
They're all pretty much the same.
And then the tab size are these little tab pieces, the connector pieces, and you can change those and make them bigger, and you can also make them very small.
Here's the deal. If they're too small, it's going to frustrate people putting the puzzle together. If they're too big, it could encroach upon your cut line. So you need to find something in the middle there. And the thicker they are, the less likely they're going to break off too.
Correct. And then jitter. Jitter is how squiggly.
It's the wiggliness, yeah.
The squiggliness or wiggliness of those puzzles. But you can see if I increase it,
see how the lines really actually crazy. More interesting with the more jiggle, isn't it? With the jitter.
It depends on what you like. Yeah. So you have the ability to play around with that.
That's cool.
And then a corner radius, if you look here in the corner pieces, I'll increase this, let's say, to 7. And you can see it changes the curve of the corner pieces.
That's pretty cool.
Right? So we'll put that back at 2.
Yeah.
And then how many tiles do you have going across versus how many tiles you have going down?
So you don't want to make them too small, or that could be frustrating to finish,
Correct.
right? So 12 by 10, and what we're doing here looks pretty good.
Yeah. And then size in millimeters, how big do you want this to be? And right now we're just over 10. 260 millimeters is just over 10 inches. By 200 millimeters is just almost 8, not quite.
Now, let me explain something about size here. You have a couple limitations. Number one, most of the wood's going to be, what, 12 by 12 or just under 12 by 12?
We're going to do standard 12 by 12 piece of wood.
All right, so we're going to print something. We're actually going to print a sticker and put it on top of the wood so we have full color.
Correct.
You could sublimate. There's other ways to do this too. You can engrave, which we did on a different machine, but the engraving doesn't give you the color. So I wanted the full color to pop, especially on the picture we're going to use.
Right.
So you're limited by the size of what your printer can print. Now, most American printers print up to about 8.5 by 11, but they won't print full bleed.
Right.
Full bleed means going all the way to the edges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's always like a white margin, and you don't want a white margin on your puzzle. It's going to look hokey, right?
Right.
So we're going to print, I'm going to give everybody like a 1/2 inch. Most inkjet and laser printers in the U.S. will print up to about, let's say, 8 by 10.5.
Right.
All right, so our print, the maximum size of our full, which will be a full bleed on the puzzle, will be 8 by about 10.5.
And that's roughly what these measurements here are that we have.
But we're going to make the puzzle a little bit smaller just in case, because we want that to overlap slightly. Our sticker's going to be slightly bigger so that there's no white space or hokiness on the outside. So
correct.
We measured this, and you can only do this in millimeters, so we went to Google and converted this, and it's going to be a little less than 8 by 10.5.
Right.
So that's how we came up with this size. Of course, if you have a larger laser engraver and a bigger tabloid size printer, you can go nuts. You can print 30-inch, 50-inch. You can print wall-size puzzles if you want, but these are our limitations, and this is why we chose these sizes.
Correct. All right, so the last thing we need to do here is just click on Download SVG, and we're ready to pull this over into our WeCreat software.
You can use this in other laser engraver software too, right?
That's correct, but today we're using the WeCreat Vision.
And this version of the puzzle generator will give you 3 separate lines. You're going to have 3 separate lines you can engrave or cut. Obviously, you want to cut. You're going to have the outer border, you're going to have the vertical lines, and the horizontal lines, and they're all going to cut perfectly.
Okay, let's give it a try.
Should we clean the wood first?
Yeah, let's take a microfiber cloth that's just lightly wet and kind of wipe down any dust particles that might be on that board.
Great. I said you want this to stick forever. Now, what did you do here?
And I used a weeding tool to actually pick up the sticker backing from the sticker itself so that I can place this on the board perfectly.
But you didn't take it all the way off.
I didn't take it all the way off. I lined up one edge, leaving the backing on most of it, and then applied it and removed the backing as I went.
So this is a trick you picked up from your vinyl days,
It
huh?
is.
So that's super helpful, right?
It is helpful. It is very helpful.
You got it on totally flat with no creases, crinkles.
That's right. No
nice
creases or crinkles.
Work.
Look
Look
great.
at you. Here it is. You just rolled it out with your hand.
Magic.
That's perfect.
There
That's
you
all.
go.
Look at that. That is perfect. All right, let's cut her up.
So we've got our wood loaded into our machine. We're going to go ahead and click on refresh. And now we can see our materials loaded in the machine. So the next thing we want to do is upload our puzzle file. And there we have it. And it came in a lot bigger than we wanted, so we're just going to grab one of those corners and size it down to fit within our image. That looks good. And we're going to change that to be a cut file. And we're going to leave the default settings. And I'm going to make sure that my material is my 3mm basswood. Once I'm happy with the sizing and spacing, I can go ahead and click on start and then send and start the cut process.
Look what you did. How cool is that?
I think this is the most amazing thing we've made.
And what's cool about this is its color. So you give them a little picture to see what it looks like. You know, when you have a puzzle, you look at the puzzle box, see where the pieces go. Because we engraved one yesterday on a different machine, and it's very cool, but very difficult to put together. It just doesn't pop like this.
This one just pops. I absolutely love it.
Love it.